Pokemon hobby is in trouble. I'm going to tell you guys a couple things you may have heard or have not heard. I usually don't do long form content. I'm like a ninja. I do shorts, reels. I get in, I get out. It's a minute long, but there is so much going on in this hobby that I had to just sit down and spill what's been on my mind, what's been going on. So first off, I own the channel Pokeballers. I've been making content over 4 years now. I own a trading card shop. Yes, I have distribution. I've owned Pokeballers one for 3 years. There's been ups, there've been downs. We have to talk about this. This has been going crazy. Now, Pokemon goes in waves. You have your crazy waves where there's new fans in the hobby. People get overhyped. People get excited about sets. Then there's a low where nobody wants Pokemon, like the beginning of Scarlet Violet. Now it goes, here's another boom, here's another wave. We are obviously in another boom. Now, I think there's a lot of things contributing to this. One being Pokemon Pocket. Pokemon Pocket got into a lot of people's hands that just didn't really care about Pokemon, grew out of Pokemon, weren't interested. I have a lot of people that have come up to me say, hey, I got into this because of Pokemon Pocket because it is so easily accessible. You could open it on your phone. You could open it with your kids, with your friends. You get free packs. And then they may want more packs. They want something to hold in their hand, maybe to rip in person. So now they're looking for cards. This brings me up to a very crazy topic. Now, distribution shortage of Pokemon cards. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. I would say it kind of started with Surging Sparks, right? Surging Sparks, in my opinion, has the best Pikachu set. Out of all the Pikachu sets that have been out there, that is the best Pikachu set. The distributions didn't even receive wave 2. This is what is being told to me. I'm going to tell you guys, it's what I have been told for management teams or distributors. If there's other information going to other stores or resellers, that is on them. This is just what I have been told. What I've been told is wave 2 never came to distros, right? Usually Pokemon does wave 1 and wave 2. Wave 2 never came. Me personally, my experience with Surging Sparks, I received my original boxes. It was a little bit less. And then if I wanted more boxes, some distros were trying to upcharge $165. And later on, around Christmas and New Year's, it got to be around, I think, $180 a box. And I was pretty outraged. I think a lot of people were too. But they were saying, hey, TCG Player has them for $220. You know, you could still make a profit. I was like, that would be crazy for me to put out Surging Sparks at the shop for $200, right? That just wouldn't look right at all. Surging Sparks, Pokemon Pocket. Now, Prismatic was terrible, okay? Nobody got a lot of allocations. I know you guys have seen the videos. I know you guys have seen the photos. How some distributions work is they look at your last 6 months you've spent on Pokemon cards or on Magic cards, and then take 1% of that and they put it into your allocations, right? But if you're not getting a lot of Surging Sparks, you're not getting a lot of Prismatic, right? You're not spending a lot of money on Pokemon because they're out, they don't have anything, they have a shortage of Pokemon, your allocations are going to go down. Obviously, it just each distro is going to be different. Okay, that is what was told to me. Now, I got upset with one of the distributions. The manager called me this week. We had a conversation. He said, hey, we had a meeting with Pokemon. When we spoke to Pokemon, this is what he said. And I'm telling you guys, I'm just relaying the message, okay? Maybe you guys could help me out in the comments. If you could help me out, go into the comment section. If you're a store owner, if you have distro, let me know the combos that you guys have had. But what he said is they met with Pokemon a week ago. And Pokemon said that in order for them to get back to the numbers they were doing last year, it's going to take 8 months. Because allegedly, the printer, which I thought Pokemon had a bunch of printers, right? Didn't they buy something in North Carolina, in Seattle? I don't know what goes on in these printing centers, whether they just do tins or ETBs or booster boxes or mini tins. There's so much Pokemon product, but apparently they couldn't allocate more time for the printer to print all this stuff. He said, hey, I've been in this company for 30 years. Surging Sparks, Prismatic, Journey Together, some of the lowest numbers I've seen. Now, when I was making stories and saying like, hey, I want to see more from Pokemon, I want to see a roadmap, right? What are we doing about this? What's going to happen in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, right? I wasn't being a negative person. I just wanted to see more than just like an Instagram post. Now, I don't know why they can't make more, right? I'm not sure why they can't just restock everything. But now we're running into trouble with people running in, grabbing all the product. Even some shops are doing it. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. The Costco thing is crazy to me. Costco has so much money, dude. You got to manage that better. And how did Costco get so much product? Me, who has a distro, I'm only getting one case of Blooming Waters. I'm not sure how Costco's getting cases and cases and cases. Like, we as stores, TCG stores who support the Pokemon company, who support other TCGs, shouldn't we be allowed to get a little bit more product, right? Costco just takes all the product and they get it early. The Pokemon hobby, there's so much to talk about because it has changed immensely. There's a million creators. It is so saturated, right? Everyone's making content. Everybody needs product to make content. I feel like now there's so many resellers. Everyone has a second job and they're reselling, whether it's Whatnot or eBay or any of these other services or their own websites or YouTube channels. Japanese cards are not what they used to be. Yes, guys, when product comes out in Japan, they're probably like 30, 40 bucks. It's super cheap to get product. In Japan, if you can actually get your hands on it, it is not expensive, but it's hard for people in the US, resellers like myself or other people, to get product for 30 bucks. It's almost impossible. Maybe we could snag 1 or 2 boxes, but usually it's third party, right? I'm going over a million topics here. I know it's impossible. Now, there's no way that myself or anyone in the US can get direct distribution from Japan. If anyone has it, I will be surprised. It's always going through secondhand or third hand. It's not direct distro to Japan. We can't just call them up and be like, hey, we need distribution. They want it to be to local people. You would have to provide about 3 years of finances in Japan. I don't have anything in Japan. I don't have a store in Japan. So Japanese cards are going crazy. English cards are going crazy. Pokemon Pocket right now has 120,000 people on Twitch watching the new set be open. There's eyes on everything. There's grades, right? The grading. Let's grade a card. Oh my God, the raw card is $100. I'll get it in a 10. It's going to be $2,000. The eBay shill bidding is crazy, right? You had cards go up to the Pikachu went up to 100K. eBay stepped in. They took it down. I just feel like we kind of lost control in the hobby. There's just so much going on. There's shell bidding. Now, obviously, you guys have seen the alpha Pokemon cards, the scam that happened. I don't even know all the details. I'm reading and I'm learning, and allegedly, they're not vintage. They're 2024 printed. I know I'm talking about like a million topics in this video. I'm just trying to show you that it's hard for a new person to come into this hobby. If you're a new person, you want to get into Pokemon and you can't find cards, it is difficult. There's a lot to learn, right? There's a lot of, the stores are charging crazy prices. It's hard to find shops charging actual MSRP. It's hard to find product at Targets or other retail spots. I mean, we went through this 4 years ago. We did the same thing during COVID. It's happening again. When Scarlet Violet first came out, you guys don't get it. Nobody wanted Scarlet Violet. I was getting Obsidian Flames booster boxes, selling them at my store for like $95 to $100 just to make just the money that I put into it back because nobody cared about Scarlet Violet. Oh, Ash is dead from the show. We don't want to do anything with Scarlet Violet. Now it's going crazy. Like every single set, modern cards are going up. Is it going to continue to skyrocket? I don't think so. There's got to be a market cap. You guys gotta understand, it goes up and then it goes down. It's hard right now to get into it because single cards are expensive, sealed product is expensive. You want to trust the people you're buying from, right? There's so many resellers, so it's hard to know who to buy from. Do I trust this person? Do I not trust this person? So now you got to do all your homework, right? And then am I making the right financial decision? Should I grade these cards, right? There's just so many things to talk about and discuss. And going back to distribution, it's tough. It's tough to get product. It's tough to understand what's going to happen in the future. Even the Team Rocket set that's coming out is going to come out in Japan first. First numbers that I saw First numbers that I saw, price to me was between 130 to $160. I mean, that is crazy. That's going from Terrestrial Festival, which is a fantastic set that was around 70 to 80 bucks, right? And it's still hovering around that point. And now the new sets are going over $100. Now, hey, has this happened before with new sets? When Clayburst first came out, the boxes were like $250. But that's when we were coming out of the previous boom. It's just going crazy now. So I feel for new collectors. I feel for people in the hobby. If you're shops, if you have distribution, whoever you are, if you have any information, right, to let me know in the comments if people are lying to me from distro, if I'm receiving the wrong information. I know that my numbers are down. Just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. That was my big first attempt at a little bit of long form content. Let's go.